The term political brainwashing is colloquial and often used to describe extreme forms of psychological manipulation and indoctrination within political or cult-like groups. While clinical brainwashing is a controversial and extreme concept, many of its associated techniques mirror the tactics used in coercive political environments to suppress critical thinking and instill unquestioning loyalty. Here are key signs, often seen in highly manipulative or cult-like political settings. Devotion and dependency on the leader/group. Unquestioning loyalty. There is an absolute fanatical devotion to the leader or the group's ideology. Criticism or questioning of either is often strictly forbidden or viewed as betrayal. Cult of personality. The leader is presented as infallible, heroic, or having unique access to the truth. They may be above the rules that apply to members. Loss of independent thought. Individuals seem to lose their ability to think critically or independently, relying on the leader or group to provide all answers and solutions. Thought-stopping techniques. Members may use specific phrases or jargon taught by the group to shut down conversations, dismiss opposing views, or avoid critical reflection. Isolation and control of information. Isolation from the outside. Members are often encouraged or pressured to cut ties with former friends, family, or associates who are seen as negative, enemies, or simply outsiders. Controlling the narrative. The group aggressively controls the flow of information, censoring or strongly deriding external sources as fake news, lies, or part of a conspiracy. Us versus them mentality. A rigid bipolar worldview is created, where the group and its allies are good, right, and enlightened, while outsiders, opponents, and former members are evil, wrong, or pose an existential threat. Fear and phobia indoctrination. Irrational fears are instilled about the outside world, such as impending disasters, conspiracies, or persecution, creating dependency on the leader for safety. Changes in behavior and identity. Sudden, extreme changes in beliefs. An individual exhibits a rapid and profound shift in their core values, beliefs, and goals to align completely with the group's agenda. Adoption of group jargon. Members begin to use highly specific speech patterns, slogans, or terminology unique to the group, often sounding as if they are reading from a script. The ends justify the means. A belief that the group's ultimate goal is so vital that it justifies any behavior, including actions the person would have previously considered unethical or reprehensible, e.g., lying, bullying, or violence. Feeling never good enough. Members feel a constant pressure to prove their loyalty and are perpetually seeking validation from the leader, convinced they are incapable of ever being good enough on their own. These signs are hallmarks of coercive persuasion, a set of manipulation tactics that can overwhelm a person's cognitive resources and critical thinking skills to enforce compliance and devotion. Would you like to know more about propaganda techniques or strategies for evaluating political information critically?
Yes. Yes.
That's a great follow-up question. Understanding how political information is manipulated, propaganda, and how to evaluate it, critical thinking, are key defenses against extreme influence. Common political propaganda techniques. Propaganda is a systematic effort to manipulate beliefs, attitudes, or actions, often by selecting facts, arguments, and symbols to maximize a specific effect. Appeals to emotion and simplification. Name-calling, /ad hominem, attaching a negative, easy-to-remember label, e.g., tree hugger, socialist, traitor, to an opponent or idea to dismiss them without examining the evidence. Glittering generalities. Using vague, emotionally appealing words that are associated with virtue or widely accepted ideals, e.g., freedom, justice, the American way, sustainable, without providing concrete details. Appeal to fear, scare tactics. Building support by instilling anxiety, panic, or fear about a potential negative outcome if the opponent's policy is adopted or if the leader/group is not supported. Ad nauseum, tiresome repetition. Repeating a simple slogan, idea, or even a debunked claim constantly until it begins to feel true or impossible to ignore. Appeals to group identity, bandwagon. Attempting to persuade the audience to join a certain cause or action by suggesting that everyone else is doing it, or that it represents an irresistible mass movement. Plain folks. Convincing the audience that the leader or idea is trustworthy because they are just like them, an ordinary person with common sense and values. Transfer. Associating a person, idea, or product with symbols, images, or sources that carry great prestige, authority, or respect, e.g., standing in front of the national flag, using religious imagery, or a university seal. Manipulation of facts and logic, the fire hose of falsehoods, inundating the public with a massive volume of contradictory, false, or misleading information across various channels to overwhelm critical thinking and create confusion. Poisoning the well, discrediting an opponent or their source of information before they even present their argument, making the audience immediately skeptical of anything they say. Stacking the deck, presenting only evidence that supports the argument while ignoring or actively suppressing contradictory evidence. How to critically evaluate political information. Critical evaluation of information, media literacy, is the best defense against manipulation. It requires questioning the source, the message, and your own reaction. Question the source. Who is talking? Check the author and credibility. Who created the content? An individual, a nonprofit, a think tank, a state-run entity? Do they have relevant expertise? Do they have a clear motive or bias? Evaluate the publisher. Is the publishing platform known for high journalistic standards and fact-checking? Or is it a source that frequently publishes sensationalized or unverified content? Look for transparency. Does the source clearly state its ownership, funding, and methodology? Question the content. What is being said? Fact-check the claims. Use reliable, nonpartisan fact-checking websites to verify specific statistics, quotes, or claims made in the information. Search for corroboration. Are the claims reported by multiple, diverse, and credible news sources? If only one source is reporting a sensational claim, be cautious. Identify emotional triggers. If the information makes you instantly angry, fearful, or extremely excited, pause and analyze why. Manipulators often use strong emotion to bypass rational thought. Look for missing context. Is a quote or statistic being used without the original surrounding information? Is the information being presented as the whole truth when it's only a partial or skewed view? Question your own bias. How am I reacting? Acknowledge confirmation bias. Be aware of your tendency to readily accept information that confirms what you already believe and to dismiss information that challenges it. Seek diverse perspectives. Intentionally read news from sources that have different established viewpoints from your own to gain a more complete understanding of an issue. Would you like some resources or websites that can help you practice fact-checking and media evaluation?
I'll do that later. Thanks for now.